Okay. All right, GARS repeater system, repeater chairman sitting right here. He does all the technical work. I just do the
He does the work.
It's his fault.
Brains and brawn.
Okay, a regular repeater system. Everybody knows this diagram. You got one antenna, feed line comes to duplexers. On each side of the duplexers, you have a receiver transmitter. It goes into a controller. The duplexers is the secret mix. Okay, this is what GARS has. We have link receivers that have antennas on it, and the output of those link receivers, they feed the motor, and the main receiver feeds the motor. So we've got 4 receivers feeding the motor, and the motor has signal to noise ratio. It mixes them all up, sends out one signal down at the bottom. It comes over to the controller, and the controller sends it over to the transmitter, back to the duplexer, up the feed line, and out the antenna. Now you ask, how can I be talking on it, receiving and transmitting at the same time? Depends on your offset and your duplexers. Duplexers, can y'all see the square boxes on the end? Are they on the screen? Oh. Yeah, they're on mine. Are they on yours? Okay. The high frequency and the low frequency. One's a transmitter and one's a receiver. Depending on your offset, whether your offset's high or low, minus or plus, depends on which one you're talking about. You see your antenna over here. It comes in. If your receive frequency is lower than your transmit frequency, it'll go down to the bottom and to the receiver. Those 2 round circles, or cans as they call them, they'll pass that frequency and they'll knock out the frequency that's on the high frequency. So it'll pass one frequency, and if the transmitter tries to get to there, it'll notch it out. That's what makes that work. And on the other side, the transmitter signal goes through and the receive signal doesn't go through. Any questions? If you have a test at the end. Okay. Can you see that? Is it washed out? This is Gwinnett County. You see 85, 985 from bottom left up to the top right? It'd be the same as this one over here. If you can see, well, the laser pointer doesn't work. These blue stars, Snellville, Norcross is Goshen Springs, and way up here is Bogan Road and Duluth. This is what we had up until this weekend, last weekend. Right now, Duluth is not there, Bogan Road is not there, Goshen is the receive link, Snellville is the transmitter. This is Georgia D-Star has a D-Star stack here on the hospital, so if you operate D-Star, that's where that's located at, WD4STR. I forget what that star is. That's the building we're in right now. And the one over here in the green, that's our field day site at that park. Harvings Park. And let's see, EAA hangar, oh, the EOC, that's what that big green one is, center.
Question.
Yes, sir.
Why did we lose Duluth and Bogan Park?
We moved to a higher antenna. We'll get there. This is a satellite view. You'll notice in red here, Snellville and Nob Hill. Nob Hill is a new site we're working on, trying to get it set up. Tribble Mill, another new site. We also have Goshen Springs over there.
Tuggle.
And Tuggle up here. And Bogan Road. Okay, I have them on here. Remember these locations.
What do you call the right one for Bogan Road?
Tuggle?
Tuggle.
Where is it?
Tuggle's an 800-foot tower off of Tuggle Road. Yes, it's next to that prison up there.
Great working conditions.
Yes. This is a line from Triple Mill receiver to the transmitter, Tuggle Road. This is 18 miles, this is about 8 miles, and 8.5 miles from Goshen Springs.
I got a question. What, the Tuggle, what city is that in?
Hamilton Mill.
Okay, great.
It's in unincorporated Gwinnett.
Actually, Buford.
Yeah, it could be Buford.
No.
Okay. This is Snellville to Goshen Springs. And if you can see this graph up here on the top, is this is ground level, all these elevations. All of them will be ground level. It's a clear sight from Goshen Springs to Snellville.
Which end is which?
This green, does green work better than red?
Green.
Oh, green works.
Which end of that line is Goshen Springs and which end is Snellville?
This is, see, the red doesn't work. Can you see that? That's Goshen Springs. That's Snellville.
Just for reference, this is 900, 1,000, 1,100 feet. So you're only looking at, in the
Oh.
through here, 100-foot differences
Yeah.
between those segments.
What's located right here? Lilburn, Yellow River Valley. It goes through Gwinnett. So everybody that operates on an HT may or may not get to a receiver from Lilburn area. You'll notice the colors on this map over here. Oh, that's much bigger. The lighter colors and the darker colors. The light colors are lower elevations than the dark colors.
Is there still a receiver at the main site?
Yes, there is a receiver at the main site that is not turned on.
Main site is.
The main site being Lanier Mountain, Snellville. We have a problem with noise, feedback. We haven't isolated that yet. This is from Tuggle Road to Snellville, and this will be either Lanier Mountain or Knob Hill. They're within 1 degree of each other from Tuggle Road. The receive antenna at Tuggle Road over here, even though you'll notice this at 1,100 or 1,086 feet, somewhere around that. And then over here, Snellville is way up there, almost 1,200 feet. We're on an 800-foot tower at 746 feet. So we're actually at 700, it'd be 1,946 feet above sea level, which gives us a clear shot to Snellville. 700 plus 12, yeah, 1,800.
You need to come back from that. That thing just bounces everywhere but
On the picture?
that works.
Okay, that works. Well, then I can't read my notes.
Turn it around.
Okay,
You're supposed to memorize it.
yeah, I think I have. This one is Triple Mill. That's on Chandler Road, right next to the park. That goes to Snellville. And it's at a low altitude of just over 1,000 foot. And again, we're at 297 foot and 201 and 297 feet, 148 feet, 200 foot will be our 3 antennas at this site. At this site will be, so we'll be above the 1,100 foot line on the tower. So that means we got a clear shot to any to our transmitters. The 22458 machine will be at this location and a link to 075. Nobody's going to ask the question, what is 22458?
It's the new repeater.
That's a new repeater. Okay. Everybody see that leg hanging in the top left corner?
Yeah.
That's a 4-bay dipole antenna right there. 1, 2, 3, and one's above it. Oh, is that one right?
Down here.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4.
That's Goshen, isn't it?
That's Goshen Tower, that's Jimmy Carter in 85. That's looking north of 85 at 200-foot level.
Whose leg is that?
I don't know, that's two climbers on the tower that was up there that day. I don't know who they were. Was that the company that put them up there, took them that day, or that was somebody working for you, wasn't it? Yeah.
I thought that was when Mike was taking pictures.
Yeah.
Well,
And this is the 250-foot mark. That's the 442-100 antenna right there. It's a vertical. And if Tuggle Road, see this sign right here? Tuggle Road is located, Tuggle Tower is located right up there in the haze, at 800-foot tower. So that's the 442-100 repeater. Let's see, where we got here.
How did you get that picture, Dave?
It wasn't me. John had some guys up there that took a couple of pictures, doing some work.
Larry's grown.
I knew. County towers, we can't climb on. We have to have a company do that for us. Okay, 147.075 repeater, PL 82.5, has 3 link receivers. It will be Goshen Springs Road in Norcross, Tuggle Road at Hamilton Mill, and Tribble Mill in Grayson. And the transmitter and the main receiver will be Nob Hill or Lanier Mountain. Y'all remember those 2 locations in Snellville. If you go to Snellville, center of 78 and 124, you look up on the hill there, you'll see a blue water tank. There's a tower there. Okay, we're trying to get permission to get on that tower. There's things in the works there for that. Government is a slow process, is all I can say. Echo Link is on the main repeater transmitter system where the controller will be. Okay, 442-100 repeater has a PL 100. It's a Yaesu running in fixed FM mode, 20 watts to a vertical at 250 feet at Goshen Springs. That's how come everybody can get into it. Well, everybody can't get into it?
Not down on the other side of Stone Mountain.
No, not on the other side of Stone Mountain. Okay, 147.255 repeater has a PL 107.2. It's a Yaesu running 20 watts located at Lanier Mountain, using a dual band vertical right now, but if we move to Nob Hill with the main repeater, it'll go on the 4-bay dipole at approximately 145 feet.
They explain a 4-bay.
4-bay dipole. That one right there.
They basically have 4 halfway folded elements that are phased together. So this is probably the best one you can see. It's some people call it a trombone look to the antenna. But basically you take a piece of tubing and you form just a
Hairpin?
hairpin on each end.
Or a folded
And then you
dipole.
feed it a folded dipole, and you feed it in the middle. A folded dipole would be the common term you'll see. And so it's fed at the 2 ends and mounts up. The nice thing about these antennas is they are truly DC grounded. The middle of the element right here ties directly into the mounting material. And then where you feed it, one side of it ties back in even. So compared to a lot of the like diamond collinears and stuff like that they have in there in fine print, they say they're DC grounded. These things will handle some currents, some current going through them to ground, whereas the ones you buy for $200 at HRO or wherever, they don't handle too much current going through them when you get a strike. So very good antennas. They're very sturdy. You put one of these things up, and typically if you put it up and everything's put up right, you don't worry about it for 20 years. So
Eddie, you play around with setting the dipoles on one side or the other?
a 4-bay dipole, if you can set the elements at, you can have them all set the same direction, and it will give you 9 dB dBd of gain. So it'll give a cardioid pattern toward the direction that the elements are pointed, and it actually gives a pretty sharp null in the area behind that. If you can split them up to where you have 2 going one direction, 2 going the other, and you get a pattern this way and this way, like a figure 8, with somewhat nulls on the side, but a little less gain each way. And then the way that we typically would run in this situation, you actually got an element pointing 90 degrees off each one, and that gives you 6 dB of gain, and it's dBd, not dBi, for the omnidirectional, yeah. So that's gain over an individual dipole.
And did everybody see on Facebook the antenna that was direct hit by lightning? Who's on Facebook? Saw that picture? That's that type antenna right there, station master.
It was on Twitter too.
Yeah, it was on Twitter too. Okay, we got to the, yes, John?
You might mention that we sent the antenna at Cuggle, since it's sitting on the northern edge of the county. We sent it direction like Andy was talking about, for most of the gain and shooting south back into the county.
We sent all 4 elements in line to the Snellville, which crosses right over to the police department. So it splits the county right down there, so we got a big circle around the county. Okay, I got to the 147.255 repeater. We was talking about the 4-bay dipole there. That, I can bring up this repeater from Alpharetta on the dual band vertical right now, and it's down around, what's about that, about 120? About where they at?
Yeah, probably about 100.
Okay, the 444.525 repeater, PL 82.5. It's a Yaesu running AMS mode. It runs into a Henry 100-watt amplifier. It's located on Lanier Mountain. It goes to the top of that 165-foot tower on a vertical, and it runs either mode, fusion or FM. So whatever input you have to it, it'll repeat it back out.
What is AMS mode?
Automatic mode selections. It'll select digital fusion mode if it comes into it, or it will select FM mode if it comes into it. So if you're listening to that repeater and you hear a bunch of noise on there, that's probably someone talking digital. K4A MAA, W4MAA, they have a link over to it for the internet to run through the Fusion network. That's a Yaesu digital mode. Okay, 442.325 repeater with a PL 100 was just coordinated. It's a Yaesu running a fixed FM mode, 20 watts, and it'll be on a dual band antenna at Logan Road. When we get the roof fixed and get some cable up there,
Will that be a W4GR repeater?
that will be a W4GR repeater. We got a tally coming up here in a second. The 22450 repeater with a minus 1.6 offset has a PL 100. That's a Kenwood radios for transmit, receive, and 25 watts into a 4-bay dipole located at Tribble Mill. It'll be up at 297 feet. Okay, it was donated to the club. The antenna was donated to the club. The only thing that's costing us for that repeater is the duplexers. And they're not cheap.
Let's say that those were donated by Kenwood.
Yes, they were. I didn't want to really mention that, but they were donated by Kenwood. Our 6-meter repeater, 53.110. Right now, we're going to locate it at Bogan Road on a vertical because we don't have to buy a new antenna on the water tank. It's a GE Master 2 running 35 watts. As soon as we get the new roof and stuff on there on the shack and get it cleaned up, we'll get that in the rack. there. So we'll have 6 meters and a 440 at Bogan Road. Now, this is a summary of all of the GARS repeaters. You should have every one of these programmed in your radios. I think I got them on the website. I'll have to go back and look.
The new one, so.
We have 2 2-meter repeaters, 3 440 repeaters, and a 220 to 6 meter. So go get your Bayfong 220 mobile radios, and we'll get some 220 work going. 075 is the main GARS repeater machine. Okay, now we got, this is the rack at Goshen Springs. On the top up there you see the RLC controller right there, and then the blue box is the link receiver and transmitter that takes in 075 and transmits down to the main repeater. The white selection down there is the can for 440 frequency, short wavelength. The cans can be smaller than the others. And then that little black box, if you can see it right there, is the Yaesu repeater, transmitter receiver. And because of the dual band Yaesu repeaters, we have an extra bandpass filter, a little black round one right there that helps the cavities or the duplexer on its work so it doesn't desense that. Yes, sir.
What are you using for link frequencies, in the 430 or the 420 band?
Yeah.
Okay. That answers the question.
This is the main repeater, receiver, and transmitter. On the top is the 404 RLC Linux base or controller that has 4 ports on it. We run Echo Link and any UHF link into the 075 machine through that controller. And it can be controlled over the internet. The blue box below it, the blue box below it with the 6 knobs on it, that's the 3 link receivers from the remote sites, and they take that off an antenna and send it down to the voter, the audio down to the voter, which is the little black box up there with the blue screen on it. That's what takes in all of the audio from the receivers and sends one audio to the controller, which goes to the transmitter and back out. The box right here is the amplifier. That's 100 watts. It takes 15 watts out of the transmitter and sends it out to 100 up to the antenna, or to the duplexers. And the one down there below it is the main receiver transmitter. Okay? Now, this picture is the 6 knobs. Those are the 3 receivers for UHF frequencies from each link site. That's what they look like. Just little boxes that plain receivers in there. This is at Bogan. There's a power supply, a link receiver and transmitter, and a controller that was in the rack that will go to a different site. The new sites at Tribble, Tuggle, and will probably be active after next week, we're hoping. Okay? So after next week, we'll be able to start doing work depending on manpower and time that we get access to a site and to get the equipment in there and set up. Yes, Mike?
So this will actually give GARS more coverage into Barrow County, won't it?
Not really.
No?
Well, the way it's sitting on the tower, the null will be back up 85. So yeah, it'll probably get Barrow, a little bit of Jackson, Barrow, Gwinnett, and maybe some Forsyth over that way. 9 dB circle going up 85 around Barrel and back around that way.
It'll give you,
Auburn.
Yes, it'll get the Auburn. Doug will not be scratchy anymore.
There you go.
it should improve your receive, it should improve the receive of your signal. It won't improve what you see from the repeater though.
Right.
It won't improve what he says either. Or how long it takes you to say.
Okay. This is in Snellville right now. The 147.255 and the 444.525 repeaters. You'll notice on the top is a Yazoo. Yeah, that one right there. We're not using the controller. It's just sitting up there. The Yazoo and the amplifier, that's a 100-watt amplifier on the 525 UHF repeater at Lanier Mountain. It cannot be moved from Lanier Mountain because of grandfathered in, because of coordination of adjacent channels. Did I say that right? So, yeah, it's stuck there along with the 147.255. Those two repeaters have to stay there because of coordination with other districts in the state and adjacent frequencies and stuff. So that's why we're looking at Knob Hill to move some other stuff 3/4 mile up the road to get away from there. It's always been GAR's problem. Too many frequencies, too many antennas, not enough space on a tower or water tank to put it up. So that's it there. And the one on the bottom is the 147.255. And this amplifier is not online yet. It's still just running 20 watts. But we'll either put that online and it'll run 100 watts also. Yes?
This is the second amplifier, well, third now, but the previous two you mentioned were 100 watts,
These are 100 watts.
but they're not going to be driven to 100, are they?
Well, these are actually over 100 watts and we'll drive them up to around 95 to 100.
Because I saw previous figures that said 20.
That's the output of the Yazoo box.
These will do, these boxes will give you 5, you can set it kind of like the Yazoo Mobile. You can set it for 5 watts, 20 watts, or 45. And if you set it at 45 and you get 2 or 3 of the people in here rag chewing, you'll fry the transmitter. So you maximum you want to set these is typically 20 for true continuous duty. And driving this amp, it'll give you 90, 100 watts, and that's just coasting on this amp.
That's a continuous.
Same way we're doing with this one. This amp actually is rated for 160 watts, but we don't drive it to near that level.
This was 130 on the bottom.
Yeah.
What it came in at. Okay, that's those two repeaters. This cabinet is located at Logan. The battery on the bottom and the little red box is a Pi, Raspberry Pi, and a Yazoo 1500 2-meter radio. And you'll notice on the corner there's an HT. That is a HT that was donated to us with a Tiny Track 4 that's running APRS up there. Okay, and it has a power supply up there also. But the 442.325 repeater will go up there in that rack, and the 6-meter repeater will probably go on that rack. Yes, Mark?
What's the Raspberry Pi for?
WX4 NET-6 node. Digital data on 145.590. Is that your question? Yes, sir. Say again? No. Yes, Dave.
So what's APRS?
Automatic.
Amateur.
No, it's not position. Packet reporting system. They try to get away from position. It's packet reporting system. Because you can send text with it. You can keep track of RFID devices at Hamfest. I forget who was that. Was that Dayton who was doing that one year? They got APRS tracking everybody that's got one of their RFID devices in their pocket. They walk through the building, they can track them down through there. A lot of stuff can be done with APRS, but it only has one frequency, 145.525, W4.390, okay? And it can get congested on that frequency. You had a question?
Yeah, APRS.FI.
Yeah, that will show you APRS.FI webpage, and it has a read the whole screen. On the right-hand side, there's a block that says search. Put a call sign in and see if they're on W4GR-9. This device should show up on there. Okay. Yes?
One more question. You were mentioning some of the racks had 100-watt amplifiers. Are we running 100 watts anywhere? I didn't hear that.
Yes. 444.525 is running 100 watts. 147.075 is running 100 watts, or 90 watts. 90 watts into the cans, probably getting 80, 85 out to the antenna. It's dropping it. Oh, okay. These two radios right here, it says repeater in and repeater out, are Kenwood radios. Those are the 224.580 repeater. And they were nice enough to give us the program to program them with. Didn't give us a cable though. But $80 for a cable, I got one, and I programmed the third radio they gave us. So we have 3 radios in case one of these crap out. And the
What does it look like when it craps out?
no lights, no transmit, no receive. Okay.
It would never break.
Yeah, they never break, right?
Well,
Duplexers.
If
Oh.
one breaks on receive only, you can swap them out and
Oh, yeah, we could. Duplexers. These are the 2-meter duplexers at Snellville for the 075 machine.
that looks like a 6-meter can over there.
No. Those is hardline, the connectors there.
Now what's that can?
That black one is an extra bandpass filter sitting on the, I think that's on the receive side.
Yeah.
That's a big filter.
Yeah, it goes in, comes out. It-
Looks
same
bigger
height.
than it is.
Yeah, same height as these.
Those 4 cans,
Much higher.
they're sitting on a stand over there. They're not on the floor, okay? They're on, there's about 6 inches below the end of the picture right there.
So basically what's going to happen is the 2 of these cans are on the hook to the receiver, so your receiver is going to come off of it looks like this one here. This line right here goes to our 2-meter receiver. We go through this bandpass filter here, and then we feed into our set of cans. We go through this can, and then it goes to the antenna. And then the transmitter comes in over here, goes through these 2 cans, then into the antenna. So these cans are very important in keeping the receiver, which is only 600 kilohertz offset from the transmitter, from seeing the transmitter. And one of the things that's kind of tough, especially with solid state transmitters, is the skirt noise, or the low level noise on a solid state transmitter is very wide. So you've got to have good isolation to knock that noise down. We don't notice it running just simplex, our radios out there, but when you've got a transmitter sitting right beside the receiver hooked to the same cable, that low level transmitter noise will absolutely wipe out your receiver if you don't clean it up. That's what the magic of the cans do, is clean it up.
And
What do the cans cost?
This set of duplexers right here today is about what, 1,200?
Yeah. The 220 duplexers.
That's just this part right here.
That's just those 4 copper cans there. The duplexers for the 220 radio. Did I give that to you? No, here it is. $1,213. Yeah, 220. And then UHF for 440 frequency, they're just over $800.
Gone up in the years.
Yes.
I used to get a hybrid ring duplexer for 600.
They cost more.
Well,
I got word today that, they shipped our 220s and our V440 duplexers should be here within a week and a half. So we'll be able to do some work on those.
you don't get 1970 prices anymore?
No, this is 2017.
Wacom's not there anymore.
No, that's from
It used to
Bird,
be called Phelps
Bird
Dodge, I
Electronics,
think.
Bird RF.
No, Wacom was Wacom.
Okay, this next picture is the Snellville 165-foot tower with Eddie sitting up there, one set of guy wires. We were doing hardline work that day, I believe. And on the top is the 525 repeater vertical. And the 4-bay dipole, you can just barely make it out on the, just down below that.
Kind of right in.
Yeah, right in there. And then we have 2 dual bands down below that, somewhere in
That's the
there.
feed line there.
Yeah.
But these are a couple of the link antennas that we use down there right now.
Which we gotta get one off. When they gonna do triple? 2 weeks? A month? Okay. So we'll need to get a couple of those down in a month. What we'll need to do is put the new vertical up there at the top one feed line, so that we can feed the, all the links down to the receiver.
Are your link antennas beams?
Those are, yes.
You got 16 element?
No, they're 8 element. Yeah.
Those are the,
Telewaves?
Cushcraft, 8 element.
some of the ones we're using are M squared.
Oh, yeah.
And we've got a couple of Cushcrafts, but the ones we really like using are the M squared in mounted. They make a good quality UHF Yagi.
Telewave out in California because of all the icing up there.
Yeah.
And it's the amateur antennas wouldn't handle it. The aluminum would get so brittle, the wind would just blow them away.
Yeah, we're fortunate here, we don't have the icing problem. We haven't.
Unless you're up on the mountain in North Carolina, right?
But they're tagged right into the receivers of the boat.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes.
And what we'll have, when things are changed around, actually these 2 antennas won't exist anymore. They'll, up here, there's going to be an Omni UHF antenna, and then we'll directionally feed back to here. So all the Yagis will be at the remote receive sites, pointed back to the Omni that's on this tower. We'll just have a single antenna for all 3 receivers down there.
Okay, what's the advantage of the other mountain?
Say again?
The other mountain.
The height, the antenna heights are going to be very similar. The big thing is to get the 075 receiver and transmitter away from the 255, the 147 255 receiver and transmitter. Get us a little.
That one on the blue order.
Yeah, 075 will go to the new site, which is a nice big building, plenty of room to work in, a nice tower with nothing on it that's operational right now at NOAA.
Can I spill the beans on that?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Anyway, so you basically get some physical separation with those close spaced in frequency repeaters.
Yep.
Now, don't we have 3 motor or 3 directional? But you're only showing 2?
Well, there's one, it's below that, I believe. No, it's in line up there. It should be 3. One should be right where he's at. He might have been putting it up that day.
You're moving the 075 transmit here or just to receive?
Both of them.
Both of them, the
Yeah.
whole thing's going.
And hopefully when we move it across to the other mountain, you'll be able to put the receiver back online.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Hopefully we get away from that noise source.
Yes. Okay, we're back to this recap map right here. Snellville, down at the bottom down there, has 2 repeaters. The bottom of the tower is at 1,165 feet above sea level.
Right there, Lanier and Nob Hill.
Yeah, Lanier. 1165. Nob Hill is 1158 above sea level. Okay, these numbers are give or take a few feet because of putting my X on the map and having them give me the latitude, longitude, and what they think the above sea level is. So, that's at the bottom of the tower. So depending on the height of the tower and how we go up the tower with the antenna, add that to that number. Okay, go over here to Triple Neo for the 224 repeater and a link. The bottom of that is 1,004 feet. And so we're up at 297, so that'd be 1,300 feet up. Okay. Tuggle Road up there, 1,066 feet. That's another length. And we'll be up at 745, so that's about 1,700 feet up there. Okay, hold that number. I got Tuggle. Goshen Springs, 442-100. That's another link. That's 1,079, and we're at the 200-foot level for the link. Bogan Road, 442-325 APRS packet, and it calls it at 6. It says it's 1,306 feet, but okay, you say, well, that's 300 feet taller than the other sites. There's only a 50-foot water tank there, so we're looking at 1,356 or 1,360 feet up there, okay? And not enough room on the tower to put all the antennas that we want, and it'd be too noisy. But, yes?
Mike tells me, for reference, the Stone Mountain, not the tower, it's the mountain.
Yeah.
1,689 feet.
1,689 feet? Ooh.
That's just the grant.
That's just the grant?
It doesn't include their antenna, but it's a little way up there.
So we'll be getting up there close to your height.
Yeah, Tuggle will be.
Tuggle will be the main link receiver that probably captures everybody. But you got to remember, as you saw in those profiles, thank you, there's a lot of valleys in Gwinnett County. As you look on this map over here, the 4 orange squares here are the link sites and the main repeater site. The light is valleys. Yellow River goes down through there and all the others, and over on the other side in Tribble Mill and Grayson and Loganville, you got a lot of light stuff in there. And then you got a lot of hills up in the north side, west side of the county. So, don't get upset at the next slide.
So you're saying Peachtree Industrial is still in?
Peachtree Industrial Boulevard is a ridge going down through the county.
You get on the other side of it, and it's easier.
Yeah, the eastern and western side of it. HTs and little antennas may or will not make solid. They may make solid contact sometimes, consistently, maybe not consistently. There's a crapshoot, okay? Medium power may not work in all places. So, you know, you have to boost it up. Depends on where you're at and your antenna. You got a small antenna, you got a quarter wave, or you got a 5/8, or if you're at home.
How does that compare to 5 years ago where our coverage was?
5 years ago, we had all the links up at those sites. Yep. Still the same. We had people.
So there's nothing new about what you're showing us here.
Right.
Okay. You made it sound like we were going to lose something.
No.
Okay.
We're probably going to gain because of the height on the new antennas.
Yeah.
If we get our board of commissioners to let us have the space on the tower. That's all it comes down to. Okay, references, repeaterbuilders.com. Got a lot of this information off of, and instructions on Veronotch duplexers with different the cavities there, web pages. We're going to have this on our YouTube for these links. Okay, and that concludes the repeaters. I have one more slide, if I may. Field Day 2017, June 24th, 25th, Harbins Park. There are no baseball fields at the park that we're in. If you pull into Harbins Park, sign says Harbins Park, you pull in there and you see baseball fields or horse trailers, You're at the wrong entrance. You have to go back down the road and come into Harbins Park. Yes, sir?
Is that the corner of Indian Shoals and Luke Edwards?
Yes, Luke Edwards and Indian Shoals, they changed the name right there in front of the park. We'll have breakfast, lunch, dinner, Mid-Rats ice cream, breakfast on Sunday morning lunch, and come out and operate. You can get all the information at GARS.org. There'll be plenty of food to eat. We're having barbecue again this year, chicken and pulled pork. Where's Kevin? Right? We got chicken and pork on the menu, right?
Yep.
Okay. That's it. Any questions? Yes.
How many stations are we gonna have in field day?
8 alpha, 8 stations, 6 meters. Okay, we got a satellite station, we got a 6-meter station, we got 2 CW stations, we got 2 digital stations running FL Digi. We got 4 sideband stations. Okay, and we'll have a GOTA station for people with no license or new hands that just want to relax and make a couple of contacts or whatever. There's plenty of things to do. Come out, put up antennas, survey the situation, ask questions. There'll be plenty of people there. I guess all of y'all will be at field day, right? Yes, Dave.
What does CODA stand for?
I can always depend on good questions today. Get on the air, and it's usually for people that visit the site that doesn't know what ham radio is all about, and the control operator, KW4AL, Don, will be at the GOTA station and help people make contacts. And yes, ma'am.
Is the Aries trailer going to be there?
Yes, the Aries trailer will be there for 20-meter single sideband and air conditioned, and we will have a safety officer on site to make sure that people do not get dehydrated and go in and cool off if they're out doing stuff too. You have a question back there?
Yeah, what are we competing with North Fulton?
We're not competing with North Fulton this year. This year is just a come out and make all the contacts we can.
We're just going to buy them ice cream.
Yes, Steve.
Have you checked with the propagation gods, and are we going to have propagation?
That is debatable. Yes. Are we going to have propagation at field day? We won't know until we get there and get on the air.
We will have propagation.
We'll have propagation somewhere.
Will it be
If
good
it's
or
not
bad?
where we want it to be, it'll be somewhere. Okay.
Will be the same advantage or disadvantage as everyone else.
Yep, be the same for everybody else. And then we'll start setting up at 7:30 Saturday morning on the 24th and run till 2 o'clock on some of the stations Sunday afternoon. Cleanup, we're usually out of there by 3:15, 3:30. Depends on how tired we are. Some guys stay overnight, 24 hours. Some get a couple hours sleep. But the band captains will have their station set up. All you got to do is sit down and with a logger or the band captain and find out how to operate the station and what to do. Yes, Dave?
Ruth, KM4LAO is going to be back in town.
Yes, her mother said she would be here for field day. Yes, Rob?
Tribble Mill is not far from the park at all.
Tribble Mill Station is not far from the park.
Right.
True. Don't know if it'll be operational by then. We hope to. We'll see. All this depends on getting authorization from the Board of Commissioners in Gwinnett County and scheduling the crew. Hopefully that the crew schedule will mate with the time that we're ready to do that tower work and stuff. You may ask, the tower crew donated their time and effort for putting up the antennas for, so that was one cost we didn't have to do at this time. So,
Did we buy them ice cream?
No, we did not buy them ice cream. Okay, any other questions? You got anything you want to say, John? Nope. Okay. Eddie? Mike, I'm going to turn it back over to you.
All right, thank you. You guys have no idea how much work has gone on behind the scenes to get where we are now. There's been a plethora of legal reviews going on with our agreements with the county to get on these towers. So much appreciation to David, to Andy, to John, to Bill Cherokee, who helped us get the 220 repeater. Big round of applause for these guys.